is no doubt that people will look back on this draft and say, how? How did the Eagles get Jalen Carter? It's not a matter of if this is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And guess what? It's already happening.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So the words Jalen Carter is a Philadelphia Eagles will reverberate for years to come in the National Football League. How did Jalen Carter become a Philadelphia Eagle? How could this happen? I can't believe Jalen Carter is a Philadelphia Eagle, because Jalen Carter has the ability to alter the NFL season. He is that good. And let me ask you something. What do you call it when you do the same thing over and over and you get the same results? So you do it over and over again, same results. Over and over again, the same results. What do they call that? Crazy, right? That's what they call crazy? Well, Mark Holmes and the Dallas Cowboys fans are batshit crazy then. That's the truth. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It truly means a lot. And I want to shout out, before we start this video, Luke Bradshaw, who sent me this article that we're going to talk about. It was pretty interesting and really actually got me pretty excited. I wanted to put the helmet on, run through the wall, and play some football because this is what I'm talking about. This is the impact Jalen Carter brings. So shout out to Luke Bradshaw. I really appreciate it. Man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun video because Jalen Carter, man, I love the kid. I absolutely love him. All right, but before we get into that, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First thing, let's get a Eagles salary cap update, right? We're hearing a lot of rumors. I have a video coming on later on. It's going to talk about 4 suggested players people think, writers think the Eagles should go after. So there's moves to be made by the Eagles. We all know it's coming. I want Yannick. I've said that already. But how much space do the Eagles have? That's the question. And right now, the updated numbers for the cap space are $13.8 million. The Eagles have $13.8 million in cap space. That's a ton. That's a ton for Howie Roseman. This means that we have the ability to do whatever is necessary for the Eagles to go out and get a Yannick Ngakoue or a DeAndre Hopkins. Now, somebody said to me, and I don't know if this is true about DeAndre Hopkins. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not speculating. I'm just telling you what somebody said. Don't know if this is true or not. You can look and see. But somebody told me that he is now looking for a 1-year deal. I expect this to happen at some point. And then when that does, it's going to make it most likely a team that can win a Super Bowl. This is when that window would open up. But I don't know if he's there yet. I don't know if they just said that. But something I'll have to definitely look into. Other thing I want to talk about real quick, I have to say this because Marco is just driving me crazy. He wants war. He's going to have war. I'm coming for his meats. Okay, but you know, when you do the same thing over and over again and you get the same results, they call that crazy. I really think Mark Holmes is batshit crazy. I think he's crazy. Because how can you have a quarterback for 8 straight years, can't get out second round of the playoffs, yet it's never his fault? Mark Holmes is now talking about that Dallas is going to go out and get DeAndre Hopkins and Dalvin Cook together because the Patriots may try to do this. And they're going to bring them to Dallas, and then Dak Prescott's going to win a Super Bowl. Come on, man. The guy's never gotten out of second round of the playoffs when he had better weapons than he has now. What makes you think he's going to change? Dallas keeps doing the same thing, and they're not even close to catching the Eagles. Not even. And it was funny because a Cowboys star sounds off on Eagles rivalry and stacked NFC East, right? And DeMarcus Lawrence was on a podcast and he said this: how far is the gap between the NFC champion Eagles and the Cowboys? Dallas star defensive end Marcus Lawrence tells Rob Maddie it's not a huge gap at all. And to me, I don't know why he didn't pause. I think gap means pause. But I think it's bigger than they realize. I really do. I think it's bigger than they realize because I think the Eagles, pretty much every position is better than the Dallas Cowboys. Got better quarterbacks, better group of running backs, better offensive line, better wide receivers, better tight end, better defensive line, better cornerbacks. Maybe you could say Dallas has better linebackers and safeties at this point. That's it. The Eagles own every other spot. Better coaching, Eagles. Better front office, Eagles. So I don't know how they think it's close at all. I think they better be careful that the Giants don't finish in second place. But that's just me. Keep being crazy. Keep doing your crazy stuff that you Cowboy fans do because that's what you do. That's the definition of crazy. Doing the same thing year after year. Mark Holmes, the craziest man I know. Now, this article, as I said earlier, shout out to Luke Bradshaw for sending me this article. But the article was titled 10 Defenders Who Could Alter the 2023 NFL Season. And what this is basically talking about is players on certain teams that if they produce, if they come and play to their ability or what they used to be capable of, they could actually make their team, a competitor or take that next step. It was a very interesting list. Some of it I don't agree with, I'm not going to lie. But I still think, and then you'll see why in a minute, I think this is worth talking about. But let me run down the top 10. We'll go 10 to 2. Top 10 defenders who could alter the 2023 season. This according to Sports Illustrated. Number 10, Daniel Hunter. Now, Daniel Hunter is on the trade block. He could be moved. So wherever he goes, if he goes to a right team, a competitive team, a competing team that could win Super Bowl, maybe he could help them put them over the top. I totally get that. Number 9, Stephon Gilmore. I think if you're looking for the wheelchair league or the league of canes, yes, Stephon Gilmore may be able to help. But for you to think that he's going to turn back time into his early 20s and be shut down, fat chance of that happening. He's too old. All right? He could come be old in the old timers league with me because I'm old. Number 8, George Karlaftis. We'll see. Kid's got a show. He's got definitely some upside, and he could definitely help out his team. Number 7, Bobby Wagner. I don't know how much Bobby Wagner can really help his team alter the NFL season. But, we'll see. Bradley Chubb, that's another one. He just got a big contract. So they expect big things from him. Chidobe Awuzie, I can never say his name. Of course, I can never say anybody's name. But they say he's coming back for injury. He could help. Kyra Lam, we'll see. Aiden Hutchinson's number 3. I like that one, actually. I think he could be a big impact. Number 2, J.C. Jackson. And then number 1, drum roll please, the top 10 defender who could alter the 2023 NFL season. Number 1, Jalen Mother-Humping Carter. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Jalen Carter. Carter's tops our list of defensive players who could alter the league in 2023. Jalen Carter. Oh man, that is music to my ears. Here's what they say. The Eagles took a chance on Carter with the number 9 pick in this spring. Despite his off-the-field issues and apparent lack of conditioning at his pro day, General Manager Howie Roseman believes in Carter's talent, which made him a potential top 3 pick after 15 and a half tackles for loss. That's a lot, man. 6 sacks and consecutive national titles with Georgia over the past 2 years. I'll say this at the end. But if Carter becomes an instant star on the Philadelphia's interior, he replaces the expensive Javon Hargrave and allows the Eagles to keep fielding the league's best front. If he struggles, it becomes far easier for opponents to help on the edge rushers like Hassan Reddick and fellow Georgia rookie Nolan Smith. So, here's my thing. Jalen Carter, and I keep thinking about what Dan Sileo said. He said, he has never said this before, but he's the closest to Jerome Brown that he has seen. Dan Sileo played next to Jerome Brown. He knows what Jerome Brown's all about. To me, that's the greatest compliment, because if Jerome Brown plays out his career, I think he's the greatest defensive tackle to ever play the game. He was that talented. To say that Jalen Carter has that much potential, to hear everything we're hearing from the OTAs, the kid is just super, uber duper, whatever, talented. Jalen Carter could alter this season. He could, for a lot of reasons and for a lot of different guys. If he's as dominant as I think he's going to be, and I think if he's starting next to Jordan Davis, I think Jordan Davis is going to eat a lot of those double teams. That's going to put one-on-one with Jalen Carter and the offensive line. I think Jalen Carter has about 9.5 sacks this year as a rookie, and I think Jalen Carter is going to be dominant. This is also going to open things up, as they said, for the outside. Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith, whoever else they're going to have, maybe Yannick Ngakwe if they get him, Josh Sweat. But Jalen Carter, if he is and plays up to what we think he can, even as a rookie, yes, the Eagles have the best front that in the National Football League. I already think they have the best front right now. Yes, they lost Hargrave, but you did the best possible player you could replace Javon Hargrave with is Jalen Carter, a more talented, younger player who is going to be far cheaper. This is very exciting. I could not be more excited to see Jalen Carter wreak havoc. And I think not just Jalen Carter, but I think it's a combination. I really think the pairing of Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter is going to be huge. Not to mention you have Fletcher Cox still who could rotate in, had 7.5 sacks last year himself. So this is an amazing list, really. Some of the players, like I said on the list, I know what they're trying to say. It's not so much that these are all great players, but if they can give you what they're capable of at their best, they can turn their teams into competitors. That's what they're saying. Jalen Carter can do that. I mean, this is a team that is primed for another Super Bowl run. And I can't begin to discount the fact that the Eagles are playing in a weaker conference. And I also think that the effect that Jalen Carter is going to have on the players around him, opening up things for them, should be a lot easier. And this is really incredible. Jalen Carter, the number one defender ranking here to alter the 2023 NFL season for their team. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Kid is legit. And I really think years from now, they're going to be saying, how did Jalen Carter go to the Philadelphia Eagles? How could this happen? Why did teams do that? All because of his incident. We can't believe it. Jalen Carter is a Philadelphia Eagle. It's going to be a great thing. And, I expect big things from Jalen Carter. How do you feel about this list? Do you agree with it? Do you think it's right on? Because I think it is. I think Jalen Carter has the chance and the opportunity to really impact this season. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. You know what? This may be like the first time in like years that I'm actually going to be going to like a lot of movies. I just saw The Flash, which I'll talk about later. And then I'm going to go see the Transformers. Then I want to go see that Christopher Nolan movie. I forget what the name of it is. And then there's another movie that I got tickets for. My wife got that comes out like July 5th or something like that. We're going to go to see. So I'm going to like 4 different movies in like the next 2 weeks. I haven't done that in years. The last movie I went to see was Batman, and I got like food poisoning and got real sick like halfway through it, and the whole theater was spinning. It was horrible experience. I don't know. That's why I don't like that movie to this day. I still don't like that movie. I think it was because of that. Denzel Washington out.